Today, I'm going to go through 7 practical Claude skills to get you ahead of 99% of people using Claude right now. These skills cover many different areas, including design, writing, video, application building, researching, and so much more. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to apply all 7 of these Claude skills to really just advance yourself so much more. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. But just quickly, before I do, if you have yet to sign up for your own Claude account, I do have my own Claude link, which is going to be at the top of the description and pinned at the top of the comments. It would be amazing if you could use my Claude link to sign up for your account just so you can help support the channel. All right, the first skill is going to be the front-end design skill. This is a skill that I use all the time and really love. Essentially, it takes our Claude design and really just 10x's it in terms of the quality of the output that we're getting. So you may have tried to do web design or graphic design with your traditional AI models, and you've probably ran into some pretty sloppy looking generations where the output is just not exactly something that's been well designed. Essentially, what the front end design skill helps us out with is just that extra bit of prompting and assets to really get the designs to look like proper designs that you'd want to actually use. And you may even be familiar with Claude Design, which came out a few months back. And this is ultimately the front end design skill in itself. And so essentially, we are just taking advantage of the Claude Design technology through the front end design skill, and we can use it in our own instance of Claude. Obviously, you can also just use Claude Design if you like, but I prefer to use the front end design skill because it does allow me to use my existing Claude Code operating system to make these designs without jumping outside of it. Hey Claude, can you go ahead and create 2 different landing page website designs for the FIFA World Cup? For one of these designs, I want you to use the front end design skill in order to think about the design and create the website design. And for the other one, I don't want you to use the front end design skill at all. I want you to just create that naturally. If you could just output the sites for me to then view locally on my computer, that would be fine. Okay, I'm going to send that off and we are going to be able to get 2 sites back from Claude here so we can compare what a website with the front end design skill versus one without the front end design skill looks like. Okay, so here we go. A couple minutes later, we've got both landing pages that have come back. We've got one that is built with the front end design skill and one that was not built with the front end design skill. And this right here is the page that was built with the front end design skill. You can see here it looks pretty good. We can see we've got some different text fonts. We've got some numbers in the back here. Looks like we can claim our seat. Looks like it's just obviously done some text examples. Top of the page, we've got a scrolling animation, which looks pretty cool. We can scroll through the page and hover over elements. And you can tell that this doesn't look like the most AI generated website ever. There's obviously a bit of work that needs to be done here in order to continue to add on top of this. But from as simple as a prompt that I gave it, it's done a pretty good job. It has designed this quite well with the sort of outlined text, and this font and everything that's using looks pretty good for the effort that I put into it. And then jumping over to the page that was not using the front end design skill, you can see a pretty massive difference that this website looks incredibly generic. This is the most AI generated website that you could ever see. And this is typically what you would expect before using some sort of front end design skill, just like this one. So definitely something to take advantage of. And just a quick note, if you do want to get access to all of the Claude skills that I'm going to be talking about in this video, I am going to list them all within my free Skool community linked in the description. Okay, so that is pretty much it when it comes to the front end design skill here. Obviously, you can push this even further to get the websites to look even better and better. But I do think that this example here should have proven to you exactly why it's so useful. Okay, next up, we're going to be using the Humanizer skill. So this is a skill pretty much built to help make our writing sound a little bit more natural and more human. You can see here a skill for Claude Code that removes signs of AI generated writing from text, making it sound more natural and human. So I'm sure you have experienced getting an AI model to write stuff for you. Nowadays, it is, to be honest, getting better and better, especially because we are using the Opus 4.8 model at the moment through Claude. But I do still think that using a skill like the Humanizer does just give us that much more control to be able to feed it really good examples as to how our speech is, so that we are able to get our outputs that much more accurate to exactly our tone of voice. So you can read through this yourself if you'd like to have a look at exactly how this works, but you can just see some of the sort of AI generated patterns that they've detected and sort of added in some constraints to be able to get around this and have different outputs that might be a little bit more natural or human-like in the speech. Hey Claude, can you go ahead and write an article about the debate between cats versus dog ownership? Please use the Humanizer skill in order to write this blog to make it sound a bit more natural and human-like. And then I also want you to write the exact same blog about cats versus dogs, but don't use the Humanizer skill in this generation. Okay, so I've sent that off and hopefully we're gonna get back 2 different versions of the same article, one that has the Humanizer and one that doesn't. And one thing that I will say, as this is writing at the moment, the Humanizer skill does take a little bit of effort of yourself to upload some examples of your own writing style. Now, it will work out of the gate because it does just have a bit of context about sort of generic writing styles to make it sound a little bit better. But I will say, to get the best results out of it, it does require a bit of effort from your end to give it some examples as to how you like to write so it can help it mimic that. Okay, so here we go. We've got version 1 without the Humanizer skill at the top here. So that just goes down to the conclusion here. The debate between cats and dogs stands as one of the most enduring discussions in the world of pet ownership. For centuries, these two beloved companions have captured the hearts of millions, each offering a unique tapestry of benefits that reflects the diverse needs of their owners. Obviously, you can pause the video and have a read through this text right here on your own if you want to have a look at exactly how this is worded. But I would say, just from the first sentence that I read out, it does have some bigger words in it, just like tapestry and some of these other enduring and stuff like that. Does just make it sound a little bit more robotic and a little bit less personal and maybe a bit too professional for this kind of an article. And I do think that we see that across the rest of the text here as well, just having a look at the rest of it with unwavering, boundless energy. A lot of these big words that probably don't really suit the style of article here. But if I go ahead and scroll down to the second article written with the Humanizer skill, we can have a read through this. So this says, people love to argue about this like it's a personality test, and maybe it sort of is. I've lived with both, and honestly, the which is better framing misses the point. They're not competing for the same job, and here's how I'd think through if you're trying to decide. So I would say that that sounds quite a bit better. There's no big words in this part of it. It seems like it sounds a little bit more natural, a lot more conversational, I would say. Like somebody is just reading this back to you in person. But not to say that it's perfect as well. Like I said, there is a bit of effort required on the Humanizer skill for you to upload your own content, for it to mimic your tone of voice specifically. But at least from a lot of the standard prompting elements they've already added into this skill, you can see that it has made a bit of an improvement. So if you are somebody doing any writing at all through Claude, which is probably a lot of you, this is going to be pretty helpful. Okay, next up, we've got the deep research skill. So this is something that is actually natively built into Claude, but it's not something that activates itself every single time. So let's say you had really any question for Claude and you sent that question off and you wanted to get a good answer about it. Depending on how complex Claude believes that question is its decision between using deep research or not. Hey Claude, can you look into whether or not dog or cat ownership is better? I've just sent off a simple question asking Claude about cat or dog ownership and which is better. And we can see in just a couple of seconds, we've gotten back this response right here. And it's a very light response. It's probably okay because it's, once again, detected that this question isn't a very heavy question, probably doesn't require too deep of an answer. And you can see that it has provided us with the answer just through what its general knowledge is. But just putting another conversation side by side, if I went ahead and told Claude Code to do some deep research in whether or not dog or cat ownership was better, it's very likely that it is going to actually look into that even deeper, maybe find some statistics and analytics around it to give us an even deeper answer. And that is just not something that will happen natively unless you ask it to. And if we do type/deep research as well, we can actually enable this if we'd like to enable it through the command. But otherwise, I could just say this. Hey Claude, can you do some deep research into whether or not dog or cat ownership is better? And so we'll send this off, and hopefully in a couple seconds, we should see the deep research skill come up as it's thinking right here. It's actually asking us a couple of questions. So it's obviously already doing this a bit deeper, but we can maybe select all of these different angles as to what we might want to be looking into. We'll submit those answers. And once again, hopefully we should see the deep research skill pop up in just a second because we mentioned deep research. And here we go. You can see deep research. The skill is now enabled. So this will go through a far deeper search across many different areas. And we can see at the bottom here, it has begun its search. Now, because it does such a deep research, it actually doesn't even showcase the thinking behind it. Just in the first chat window right here, we can watch the progress if we do /workflows. But otherwise, this deep research is going to happen in the background right now. And in a few minutes or whatever, it will then come up and then say it's completed and then give us the entire research report. Okay, and finally, we've got our report back. So this did take quite a while to do the research, which is obviously the whole point. We obviously wanted it to do a much deeper research, and that is obviously what we got back. You can see here multiple different points of research through health and longevity, cost, companionship, lifestyle, a whole bunch of information it went and researched through, looked at all of these different articles. We didn't get any of this on our previous response. We can obviously read through this, and we've got a cost breakdown, sources for this as well. So it's obviously just done that much more research and thinking about all of the different elements that come into this decision. So if you do need to get that extra bit of research, you do want it to give you a much better answer. Definitely more than worth it just to tell it to use the deep research skill in order to do that. And once again, this is a natively built-in skill, so you don't actually have to download anything or install it. Just tell it to do some deep research and this should start working. Okay, next up, we've got Remotion. So this is a skill specifically for video editing. Ultimately, we can get Claude Code to use Remotion to take an existing video, just like this video right here. What it can do is then add animations into that video as well as some music as well. So if you're somebody who is looking to create maybe some Instagram ads, YouTube videos, anything content creation related, using something like Remotion is going to be pretty helpful in just speeding up that workflow. It usually would either cost a lot of money or take a lot of time to do yourself. So I do already have a video in my folder here in Visual Studio Code with my Claude Code. So I'm just going to tell it to use Remotion against that particular video that I already have in here, just so that you can see the timeline of Remotion and just see exactly how it looks and how we're able to interact through Claude Code to be able to make those edits. Hey Claude, I'm going to provide you with a path to a video that is here in this folder. I want you to set up Remotion and add this video into a Remotion timeline, just so I can see how that looks. Okay, so I've sent that off and I've also provided it with the pathway to a video that I actually already have in my folder here. So we'll give it a couple minutes and it should set up the timeline of Remotion, and then I can showcase exactly how that works. Okay, so that has finished up. You can see here it is now launched Remotion onto a local host link just on my computer. And we can see right here, this is Remotion. So it's actually opened up a full video editing suite. This is essentially what Claude Code itself is going to start to edit and cut things and add things into. But this is just what we're given to be able to view the video and just review everything to see if it's exactly what we're looking for. And so let's say I wanted to add some graphics or I wanted to add some text onto this video. I can just ask Claude Code right now to do that, and it's going to add that directly onto that timeline. Hey Claude, can you add some graphics into this video? Just add them randomly. I just want to be able to test the graphics on this particular timeline. Okay, and here we go. You can now see some of the graphics that were added onto the videos. This part of the video was just like a AI generated car chase, but if we scroll through, you can see the graphics at the top of the screen is this right here. So this is the graphic that it added on top of the video. You can see here it's sort of increasing speed. So obviously you wouldn't use this in this kind of environment, but just to prove the point that we can get it to add these animations, we can get this kind of a timeline and get this level of control that you would typically only get through some sort of a paid video editing software. Okay, next up, we've got the PDF skill. Now this one is probably a little bit more boring, but something that I use every single day when it comes to contract generation, invoice generation, proposal creation, pretty much anything that you could use a PDF for. It's going to be able to really crush creating PDFs. And also not just creating PDFs, but actually filling them out as well. I recently had a form that I had to fill out. I was able to just give it to Claude Code and it filled out all of the boxes in that form. And because my operating system here, essentially a folder on my computer with all the context about my business and myself, it was actually not only able to fill out the fields I told it to, but automatically fill out all of the fields of things that it already had the info. Anyways, I'm going to quickly tell it to generate a PDF invoice. And I do already have an invoice template in my folder right here, so it should be able to take reference from that. Hey Claude, can you go ahead and create a quick mock PDF invoice just for a random amount for some random services? Just block out my current bank account details, as this is just going to be used for demo purposes. Okay, I've sent that off. Obviously, I told it to block out some of the sensitive info, but we should get back a mock demo invoice PDF just to show you exactly how well it works, how quick it works, and exactly what you can expect. Okay, and here we go. We've got the invoice back, and this is the sort of design of the invoice that I've typically been using, but we can see that we've got all of the information for it all filled out here. And so this is a PDF in which I could email off to any client or whatever right away. It's all pretty much ready to go. And the PDF skill just makes it so it's a little bit easier for it to actually create that PDF. Typically, if you don't use the PDF skill, it might eventually get to creating a PDF, but it's going to go in terms of finding some libraries on the internet to generate the PDFs as opposed to just using this skill, which has already mapped out exactly how best to do it. Next up, we've got the web browser. So this isn't necessarily a skill. Ultimately, this is for testing applications or just automating any work that needs to be done via some browser. So for example, if I click the plus button at the bottom left right here, you'll see we get the option to browse the web. If I click on this and give it a couple seconds, it will get a browser tab from our instance of Chrome. If I then do this, we now have the ability to essentially tell Claude to do really anything through Chrome. So if I wanted to visit a web page and scrape some information, or I wanted to visit a web page and insert information, this can all be done just through this browser tab. So once again, this isn't officially a skill, but it is something that I do tend to use quite a lot. Hey Claude, can you go to the Apple website and add the iPhone to a cart? And just before I send this off, you will need to make sure that you do have the Claude Chrome extension installed on Chrome. So it will be able to actually launch its own tab to be able to do this inquiry. So I've sent that off. You'll see browser connected at the bottom here in blue. And now we can see we've got this browser tab that's just been opened up by Claude, and we can see it essentially in action. It's moving the page as we're watching it as well, which is pretty cool. We should be able to see it to jump into a product, add it to the cart. If I quickly click out of this, you'll see the screenshots that it's taking in order to see the page and see what it needs to do to click on things. Looks like it's currently just clicked into the iPhone 17. So we'll see if it is able to then add it into the cart in just a second. We can see it's navigating through all of these options here. You can even see that cursor on the screen as we're watching it. So pretty cool. It's able to do this. If this was, an actual task or something, we could just tell it to go do that task and we can just sit here and watch it. Obviously, you might want to go off and do something else to be more productive, but we can see it's pretty much doing everything that we'd expect it to right now, going through all of these options. Okay, so you can see how it was able to navigate that web page and then add it to the cart. But obviously we could use this exact same process to automate some sort of an actual task for us, and we can head off and it can do that task for us whilst we're away. And so this is something that I might typically use if I need to access a web page that isn't just going to be the sort of top of the web page just to scrape, and I need it to sort of go into things and click into different elements to find certain things. And if you do need to automate or send replies and really just take action on that page, using that is going to be a really good way to do that. Our last skill on the list is going to be the Superpowers skill. So this is going to be a great skill to use if you are somebody that has been building any applications, whether that's internal for your own use or you're actually building out some SaaS application or just any app related things through Claude Code. Essentially, what Superpowers helps us out with is just planning out exactly what we're going to build before we build it. So if you have ever built an application through Claude Code or told it to build you an application, you're probably familiar with it giving you a couple of different steps in order to sort of confirm what you're looking for, but that's about it. And once you've confirmed those steps, it essentially goes ahead and just builds the entire application, and then you can work on it from there. Ultimately, what this skill comes in and does is it just does a little bit more research before getting that application built. And this has just been tailored around a specific software development methodology that they've put in here. And I can scroll down and have a look at exactly what this is for. But you can see Superpowers is a complete software development methodology for your coding agents. And it's built on top of a set of composable skills and instructions that make sure that your agent uses them. So this just makes it so your agent takes a step back and really just asks what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build. So you can really plan out exactly what you're looking to build before you build it. And so this is going to make it so we've got a better application from the start, so we don't have to remove features or add features that we didn't actually think about. So instead of spending a bunch of tokens on building out an application with some features that you might not actually use, just doing some proper planning and planning out exactly what you want to build does just make it a little bit more efficient as to the back end of the development and how everything works, as well as the features on top of that. Hey Claude, can you use the Superpowers skill to plan out a to-do list application? Okay, so we can already see this skill in action. I just told it to go ahead and use the skill to build out a to-do list application. It actually saw that I already had one in this folder right now, so it sort of just asked me a couple of questions about that, but this is already a part of that skill. Essentially, asking me these initial questions is a part of that skill to continue to get more information out of me. And then I told it to plan a new one from scratch with the skills. And it once again went ahead and asked me a series of 4 additional questions. So that really is this skill, continuously asking me questions about exactly what I'm looking for so that it can refine a really good plan and start to work on that. Okay, and here we go. You can see right here, it has gone through these sort of technical specifications for the application as well. Typically, if you do tell Claude to build something out, it usually might not give you this level of detail in exactly what it is going to be building out, just because it thinks it can just build it and change things later. But the benefit of this is just verifying that it is going to be built exactly how you would expect it to for your exact purpose. And what I could do now is just approve the exact design as what I would like to get built, and then it would just go ahead and build it. Okay, so that is it for those 7 Claude skills. I hope you can jump in and start to use them right now. Once again, if you are yet to sign up for a Claude account, I've got my own link at the top of the description and pinned at the top of the comments. So if you could use my link, it really helps just to support the channel. And once you have signed up for an account, check out this video right here where I build a CRM system using Claude Code from start to finish.